The story begins with Patricia, who, holding a gun in her hand, wakes up her husband Truman and tells him that someone might have broken into their house. Truman goes downstairs to check and finds a young girl sleeping there. She had passed out the previous night after drinking too much at a party. You see, Truman often hosted business parties at their house and frequently invited young women. This girl was one of the guests at the party. On the other side, we are introduced to another family. Here we meet Alex, who lives in the same house with his wife Marina, their son Robbie, and their maid Bailey. Today is Robbie's birthday, but both Alex and Marina have forgotten about it. It's the maid who reminds them about the special day. But Alex, running late for work, brushes it off and tells her, "It's Robbie's birthday? You go ahead and celebrate it with him," and then he and Marina leave for work. Meanwhile, Truman tells Patricia that he's about to close a very important business deal today. "If this deal goes through," he says, "I'll get promoted and then we'll be rich. We can finally live the life we've dreamed of." He surprises Patricia by showing her the luxury car he just bought for her. But instead of being excited, Patricia becomes a bit worried because Truman had taken a loan from the bank to buy the car. They would now have to pay it off together. Truman reassures her, saying, "Don't stress. Once this deal is done, everything will fall into place." In the next scene, we see Robbie at school, where he meets a girl named Jerry and tells her, "It's my birthday today. Would you celebrate it with me?" But Jerry is unable to spend time with him and bluntly says, "I'm dating someone else." Robbie is hurt and upset. He leaves school and goes off somewhere alone. When Alex hears about this, he scolds Robbie harshly and even takes away the car keys from him. On the other side, we see Truman's secretary talking to him about Alex. She warns him that if he fails to close the deal today, it will be handed over to Alex. In fact, Alex had already tried multiple times to grab the same deal. That night, Truman brings his client, Mason, home for a meeting. Patricia tries to impress Mason and attempts to charm him while offering him drinks. Mason had already become influenced by Patricia. He was attracted to her and tried to touch her. Patricia didn't like this at all, so she told Truman about it. But Truman said, "This deal is really important for us, so you'll have to compromise a little and do whatever it takes to seal it." Reluctantly, Patricia had to spend time with Mason so that her husband could secure the deal. Truman, too, was aware of what was happening, but he felt helpless. The next morning, Truman went to the office with high hopes of getting a promotion, but he was shocked to learn that the deal had been given to Alex instead. Devastated, he returned home and informed Patricia that the deal had fallen through. Hearing this, Patricia felt terrible. Seeing everything fall apart, Truman went into deep depression. Eventually, he took his own life at the office. Patricia was completely shattered by her husband's death and cried uncontrollably. A few days later, she visited Truman's office and asked his boss, Mike, about his insurance. Mike told her, "Since your husband committed suicide, you won't be eligible for the insurance payout." This broke Patricia even more. Seeing her grief, Mike said, "Give me some time. I'll try to work something out for you." Patricia then went to collect Truman's belongings from his office. Truman's cabin had now become Alex's, which angered her. In her rage, she stole several of Alex's personal documents and information. After leaving the office, she felt extremely guilty. She had done so much for Truman, but in the end, neither did he get the deal, nor did she have her husband. Fueled by this pain and anger, she went straight to Mason and shot him dead. From that moment, Patricia had made up her mind that she would take revenge by killing her husband's murderers. From Alex's personal file, she finds out that Alex has a son named Robin, so she starts following Robin and reaches his school. After arriving there, she takes a slip from the school counter and upon returning home, writes a fake letter pretending it's from the school. In the letter, Patricia writes that Robin's grades are very low and she recommends a tutor who can help improve his performance. In reality, this teacher was none other than Patricia herself. When Alex receives the letter, he decides to hire the recommended tutor to help his son. The next day, Patricia arrives at Alex's house using a fake identity. She calls herself Amanda so that no one can discover her real motive. She lies to them, saying that painting work is going on at her home and that she can't teach Robin there. Hearing this, Alex offers that she can stay in their guest house if she wants. Since Patricia wanted to stay close, she agrees. In the next scene, we see Patricia picking Robin up from school. From their interaction, we understand that Robin is starting to feel attracted to her. Once home, Patricia begins teaching him. The next day, we see Robin's mother, Marina, talking to Patricia. Marina tells her that she's usually very busy with work and can't give Robin enough attention. During their conversation, we see Patricia trying to grow closer to Marina and build a friendship. Later, when Marina goes to take a bath, Patricia mixes sleeping pills into her drink. After that, she dresses Marina up nicely, and we see Marina beginning to consider Patricia Patrika a good friend. That night, Alex and Marina leave for a party. In the next scene, Robin is seen peeking into Patrika's room as she changes clothes. Patrika is aware that Robin is watching her, so she tries to attract him further. This was all part of her plan to get closer to Robin. Just then, Bailey enters and sends Robin away from there. A little later, Patrika goes to Robin's room and says, "I know you were watching me through the window." Saying this, she moves closer to him, and the two end up making love. Bailey had already found out about Patrika and Robin, so she closes all the windows in Patrika's room and warns her, saying she should keep her room closed to avoid being spied on. Meanwhile, the pills Patrika had given Marina start taking effect. Marina becomes irritable and starts getting angry over small things. The next day after Marina and Alex leave, Patrika makes a plan. When Bailey is going down to the basement, she cleverly pushes her down the stairs, causing her to die on the spot. Actually, Patrika pushed Bailey because Bailey had come to know the truth about her, and she wanted to get her out of the way. A little while later, Robin comes home and shows Patrika his test paper in which he has scored very good marks. Sometime later, Marina comes home, and when she goes into the basement, she finds Bailey's dead body there. Seeing this, she becomes extremely frightened and starts crying because Bailey had been a part of their family for a long time. On the other hand, Patrika is quite happy seeing all this because the downfall of the family had now begun and her plans seem to be succeeding. That night, Alex is very disturbed and is playing games. Seeing this, Patrika approaches him and tries to get close to him by talking. At first, Alex resists everything, but after a while, the two of them end up making love right there, all of which Robin witnesses from the other side in plain view. This makes him extremely angry, and in his rage, he goes to Alex and tells him, "I know about you and Patrika." Saying this, Robin takes the car keys from Alex, the same keys that were shown at the beginning of the movie. The next day, Alex is quite upset with Patrika because of what happened the previous night. After that, Patrika goes to Marina's room and again starts mixing pills into her notebook. Meanwhile, Marina is very disturbed about Bailey's death. Patrika comes and tries to console her. Just then, Marina realizes that Robin didn't go to school. So when Marina approaches Robin and asks him about Bailey's death, Robin responds very angrily. Because of the pills, Marina gets extremely enraged and ends up slapping Robin. We then understand that the effects of the pills are starting to strongly influence Marina. A little while later, Patrika comes into Robin's room and asks him to apologize to his mother, but Robin refuses and tells her that he knows about her affair with Alex. Hearing this, Patrika tells Robin, "What happened last night wasn't what I wanted. Your dad forced himself on me." Robin believes her and starts thinking of his dad as a disgusting person. In fact, all of this was part of Patrika's plan. That night, when Alex enters Marina's room, he finds drugs there. Seeing this, he gets very angry and starts fighting with Marina, all of which Robin overhears. The next day, Patrika once again mixes the medicine into Marina's coffee. But this time, as Marina's about to drink it, she notices something unusual in her cup. This makes her suspicious of Patrika. That night, Robbie comes to see Patrika and tells her that his grades have improved and he's leaving for university. They spend a final moment together, and after Robbie leaves, Patrika also departs. Later that night, as Marina is sitting alone, Patrika switches off all the lights in the house. Marina gets terrified and grabs a knife to check around the house. Suddenly, Alex arrives, and in panic, Marina accidentally cuts Alex's hand. When Alex cries out in pain and asks what's going on, Marina tells him that Patrika is trying to kill them. Alex doesn't believe her and assumes she's under the influence of something. The next day, after Alex leaves for work, Patrika returns and ties Marina to the bed. Patrika's plan is to kill Marina and make it look like a suicide so that no one suspects her. Marina pleads with her to let her go, but Patrika ignores her. Meanwhile, at his office, Alex finds an old photograph. When he asks his boss about it, he learns the shocking truth. Patrika is actually Truman's wife. Everything suddenly makes sense to Alex. Patrika has been trying to kill them all along. He rushes back home and finds Patrika just moments away from killing Marina. Alex saves Marina by pushing Patrika out the window. The police arrive soon after, but by then, Patrika has already escaped. Meanwhile, we see Robbie in his university hostel, talking to his mom, Marina, on the phone. She doesn't tell him anything about what happened, wanting to keep him safe from all this. But as soon as Robbie hangs up, we see a shocking twist. Patrika is already there with him, and that's where the movie ends. So how did you like the movie? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and share the video. See you in the next one.